In the anime, the Sound Four were originally prisoners of Orochimaru, forced to fight other prisoners to the death in battle royales. By surviving their respective matches, they proved themselves to be the strongest of Orochimaru's prisoners, and as such were made his bodyguards. Tayuya was an overbearing and abrasive, sharp-tongued individual. She was very blunt and foul-mouthed towards most people, even towards her teammates, though they were apparently used to her behavior and usually responded with nothing more than slight irritation when insulted. As one of the Sound Four, an elite group who served under Orochimaru's direct orders, Tayuya was a strong kunoichi. She claimed to be the second strongest member of the Sound Four, inferior only to Sakon. In the anime, another testament to her skills was her being chosen for reincarnation by Kabuto Yakushi. Furthermore, Shikamaru stated that Tayuya's prowess was of Jonin level. As one of Orochimaru's closest and most powerful warriors, Tayuya was branded with a cursed seal. Tayuya was the only member of the Sound Four to use sound as her primary fighting style, in the form of her demonic flute, and was shown to have immense skill using it. In a fight with Shikamaru, she was able to dodge attacks and play her flute simultaneously. However, her flute, having been her only weapon, left her more vulnerable to close-range combat, as she lacked preference for any other tools. In the anime, after her reincarnation, she corrected that mistake. Tayuya had access to a very unique summoning, 3 eerie-looking creatures called Doki that she controls through her flute and engaged the opposition in physical combat in her place. These Doki are very strong, durable, and their large size belies their equally amazing speed. Aside from acting as Tayuya's personal physical shield and warriors, the Doki are able to weaken enemies by releasing the materialized spirits stored inside of them and absorb their chakra. Despite the volatile relationship between the members of the Sound Four, they were well versed in a series of cooperation ninjutsu. They could use the combination transformation in order to pose as Orochimaru's bodyguards while also concealing their numbers. During the battle between the third Hokage and Orochimaru, they could produce the 4 violet flames formation in order to avoid anyone from entering or leaving the confines of the barrier. When carrying Sasuke to Orochimaru, they used another technique, a barrier called the 4 black fogs formation, which traps the target in a temporary death state in order to allow him to adapt to the cursed seal and make for easier transportation. In the anime, Kabuto Yakushi chose her for reincarnation using the Edo Tensei technique. This is undeniable proof of her value and power, as Kabuto chose only the most capable and dangerous shinobi for reincarnation. As one of the strongest members of the elite group, her role likely involved direct confrontation with the enemy. Her Jonin status allowed her to be a frontline strike force, capable of penetrating enemy defenses or eliminating key targets. Considering Tayuya's use of a flute and illusions, it can be assumed she could have played a role in battlefield control. Her abilities could have been used to disorient enemies, create traps, or weaken opponents before the other members of the Sound Four attacked. Her power level and training made her an ideal candidate for complex missions requiring the elimination of dangerous opponents or infiltration into enemy territory. If Tayuya hadn't been defeated by Shikamaru, her role in history could have changed significantly. Here are a few possibilities. Continued threat to Konoha. If Tayuya had defeated Shikamaru, she and the remaining members of the Sound Four, or those who survived the process, might have successfully completed their mission to deliver Sasuke to Orochimaru. This would have meant Konoha would have had a lesser chance of recovering Sasuke, and he would likely have completely defected to Orochimaru, becoming a more powerful adversary. Strengthening Sound Village. Success in the Sasuke recovery mission and possibly other successful operations under Orochimaru's command could have strengthened Sound Village's position. This could have led to earlier or more widespread conflicts with other great shinobi villages. Altered fates of other characters. Tayuya's victory over Shikamaru could have influenced the development of other characters. For example, if Shikamaru had failed to prove himself in that battle, his path to becoming a leader and brilliant strategist might have been different. He might have had to overcome more difficulties to prove his worth. Alternate plot development in the Sasuke arc. Had the Sound Four succeeded, It could have led to completely different events in subsequent arcs involving Sasuke and Orochimaru. Perhaps the mission to retrieve him would have been undertaken sooner or with a different outcome.
Tayuya stands out among Naruto characters for her unique fighting style, which combines powerful genjutsu with the use of a flute to control her demon minions. This combination makes her an unpredictable and dangerous opponent. Despite her low strength rating, her ability to manipulate opponents through illusions and sick her creatures on them compensates for this deficiency. Her intelligence, while not on the level of Shikamaru, is sufficient for the tactical use of her techniques. A high rating for hand seals indicates her mastery of complex techniques, likely necessary for summoning and controlling her demons, as well as for casting genjutsu. Her ninjutsu most likely relates to techniques related to her flute and creature control. Tayuya is an example of how, even with a lack of physical strength, unique and well-honed skills can make a ninja a formidable opponent. In the anime, Tayuya was reincarnated by Kabuto Yakushi along with her Sound 4 teammates during the 4th Shinobi World War. She was deployed with Jirobo at the Land of Lightning's coast and fought Shikamaru again. Despite losing even when her body was enhanced by her summoner due to her opponent having become more skilled since their last battle, Tayuya quickly reconstructed herself and cast the space-time technique formula, underworld turnover to teleport herself and Shikamaru to another location where her comrades have brought their respective opponents to. Tayuya rejoins her comrades in the underworld turnover barrier and they continue their battles with their enemies, switching opponents while Shikamaru comes up with an analysis. To reward them for their attempted efforts, Tayuya reveals that even their defeats will not release the barrier. Their battles rage on as the Sound 4 overwhelm the Konoha shinobi with the hatred they hold for them. Taking advantage of this, Shikamaru continues to bait their hate to lure Naruto to the barrier and break his comrades free. With the souls of their most hated enemies freed, Tayuya and her comrades decide to take out their hatred on Naruto, only to be easily defeated before their souls return to the afterlife.